Hi, I'm Mitch Abrams. I'm a sports psychologist. I also work in prison. I'm going to be talking to you today about dating violence and sexual assault prevention. Now, this is a topic that's important because for athletes, a lot of people think that athletes are more likely to be involved in sexual assault than non-athletes. Now, statistically, that's not true. But nonetheless, because athletes tend to be a popular bunch, when they do get in trouble, it tends to be in the public eye. Now, everything that I'm going to talk about over the next few minutes is true for young men in general. But I'm targeting this primarily on athletes because there are things that you need to understand. This is about protecting you and getting what you want out of life in your athletic career. Now, if you've had any of these lectures about sexual assault prevention, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about you standing up and making sure that the people that you're friends with don't do the wrong thing. And I think that that's a good approach, but I also know that it's unrealistic in the sports world. And the reason why it's unrealistic is because if you're a rookie on the team and you see captain of the football team, defensive captain, whoever doing something, you're not going to be so quick to stand up because you're afraid of what's going to happen with the group afterwards. What I'm telling you is that if you do have that courage, I applaud you and I hope that you'll do the right thing. But I would not count on anybody else on your team standing up for you. Ultimately, you're the one who has to make sure that you do the right thing. So what does that mean? Well, look, sexuality and getting laid and being popular, these are things that young men are taught as badges of honor. This is how you become popular and how your manhood is judged. Unfortunately, you don't know what the hell you're doing. But you have to act like you know what you're doing. Just like when you are on the football field, you're supposed to act like you know what you're doing and your coaches are teaching you things and you're going over and over again. This is the same thing that you see in high school and college athletics, that you'll see young men acting as if they know what they're doing. Let me tell you, there are going to be temptations. There are going to be women that throw themselves at you. You're going to think you're popular and everybody wants you. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're wrong. Over the course of all of this, you're going to have situations. There's going to be parties. There's going to be alcohol. I've heard guys talk about, oh, well, you know, she was drunk and she was all over me and the opportunity was there. Let me tell you a little something about laws and sexual assault. It wasn't that long ago that the laws were horrible. And if a woman was raped, it was next to impossible to get a prosecution. It's still very difficult, but the laws have changed and nobody's talked to the young men about this. Now, before you think that this is another adult male bashing you and telling you, oh, you're bad and you're horrible, let me explain to you. Statistically, 1 out of 4 women over the course of their lives is going to be sexually assaulted in some way. So that means that if you have 4 women in your life that matter to you, this is your issue. Whether it's protecting them and looking after them, whether it's your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, your daughter, whether it's protecting them or making sure that you're not the person doing the wrong thing, this is your issue. Okay? So, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be intimate with someone. But it's supposed to be about respect. It's supposed to be about 2 people doing what they want to do. And I'm telling you that the testosterone flowing through you is going to make you think everybody is attractive and you're going to want to have something going on with everyone. But you need to make sure that the person that you're doing this with wants to be with you. Consent is key. How do you know whether or not someone really wants to do this? Well, I've heard people say, if she's drunk, it's okay, she's crazy, she's all over everyone. Let me tell you something. When it comes to consent, if a woman is unconscious, she can't give consent. If she's really mentally ill or mentally retarded, she cannot give consent. If she's under the influence of alcohol, she cannot give consent. But here's the stuff that no one wants to talk to you about. If she agrees to have sex with you because she's afraid if she doesn't, that you're going to hurt her, whether she tells you that she's afraid or not, if she's secretly afraid and she consents, you could get a knock on the door the next day and be arrested. That's where the laws are right now. So you need to be absolutely sure that you have consent. I've sometimes heard guys say, well, you know, she led me on and then everything was going so fast and I couldn't stop myself. People think that blue balls is a deadly disease. It's not. This is what I would ask you to consider. I understand if 2 people are getting going, it can, there's some momentum and it all feels good. But if her father were walking up the stairs, could you stop then? Not only could you stop, you'd be clothed, dressed, and out the door before anybody can count to 5. So ultimately, it's not that you can't stop. You may not want to stop. But that's what respect is. That's what accountability is. You need to know when it's okay and when it's not. Well, this might sound like guys should always be scared. Guys should be afraid of being arrested. Yes, you should. You need to understand this is real. If you get arrested and you go to jail, you're talking about a cell that's 6 by 8, which you probably will be sharing with somebody. They're going to tell you when you eat, when you drink, when you shower. Everything that you do is going to be controlled. All the freedoms that you have, the things that you've come accustomed to, are gone. There's a lot to lose here. All because you have difficulty stopping yourself in a moment of pleasure. I'm going to wrap this up with 2 simple words that I want you to remember. And if you start with this, everything will be fine. Okay? If you are not absolutely sure where the girl's at, where the woman's at, all you have to do is ask. Remember these 2 words. Her first. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's sexual. It doesn't matter if it's being supportive when she's having a tough time. If you remember to always, if you're in a relationship, take care of her first, you're going to find out where she's at. She will communicate with you. And if you're not absolutely sure that you know what she wants, you assume the answer is no. But the more you have open communication about it, the better you are to figure this all out. All right? Thanks for your time.